So you always want to say something goofy when you first start a live feed, huh? Like, it's all good in the hood. Or something goofy, huh? Okay. Wait for wait for a bunch of you efforts to get in here. Before I start the live stream, let me put some clothes on. So you can see the sun is shining. And the sun hasn't been shining in a minute, right? It was like the creator wanted to get your attention for those 2 days to remember, right? Makes sense. It happens every Christmas. Every Christmas that something like that happens, there'll be a rainbow or something. So let me make sure the signal is good. And I was watching a few channels this morning, so I want to comment on the channels. Okay, so I have to go off here. Okay, just a minute. Let me check my channel and I'll turn the heater off here in a minute. Let me turn that old heater off. Where's my remote control? Get a little haircut this morning. It's been a minute. I didn't want to shave all of my hair off because it gets real cold right here at night. Right? This is like a trailer, and for the coldness just goes right through. So you have to put on a hat or something. So I left some hair so to avoid that from happening. And so where's the thing to turn off the heater? Is this too loud? It should be right there. Damn, I'll just turn it off up here. I'll find the remote control later. Oh shoot, this is a new one. I don't even know how to turn that damn thing off. Where is my freaking... I'll bet you it's gonna be right underneath this damn thing. Yep. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let me turn this off. Okay. So I'm going to talk about two things. I wish I had some more stuff to talk about, but I don't. There's only two subjects. Actually, I think it's three subjects. Okay, so the signal's good. And the phone's way the hell down there. So that's bizarre. But just for the heck of it, I'm going to move the phone because it gets a better signal if it's laying right here. Okay. So, sorry you have to be turned on the side, but I can't go in the living room. I've already told you that. It's too cold out there. So, okay, the first subject is, I'm going to talk about two channels, but I'm not going to mention the names. One guy is who knows where. He's homeless, and he lives in his car, and he travels. He's always traveling around, that's pretty good. And there's a few people doing that, and they're making money on YouTube to buy themselves something to eat. When they're doing really good, they can, rent a motel. But a lot of times they'll sleep in their car. So These are good channels to watch. Now, I already talked to you about, are they real people? Are they some type of extraterrestrial people? Are they working for Hollywood? Okay, Hollywood is all over this YouTube like a bad freaking habit, like a bad attitude. Okay, disguised, trying to act like regular people, for manipulative reasons. And while all along the narration, or what's called the narrative, has been something that has left this place a toilet bowl, a cesspool. Everything's backwards. Everything's, you know, perverted. There's no equality and you know, social and economic equality. Um, they're blocking freedom of speech way more back then than there is now. Okay? So for years and years and years, this thing has been perpetuated by this media who's been controlling the narrative, spinning it the way they want to spin it, glamorizing certain, you know, behaviors, certain features, certain people who looked a certain way, they put them up on a pedestal to make them look like they were really getting it on, right? When they were everything but. And so there's two theories, and I guess one of them is out of the Book of Kings in the Holy Scriptures. I wouldn't know. I mean, I know I've read it before, but a long time ago. And like I said, if there's any Holy Scriptures that I've, you know, read, it's the Quran, particularly the Book of the Heights, Heights, the Heights in the Holy Quran. But this is one theory, and this theory is basically that people have a demonic spirit, basically like demon possession, okay, from the spiritual realm. These spirits from the spiritual realm, they possess people, like the exorcist. And you know, the saying is the only way to get rid of it is through fasting and prayer. That's what you always hear. But in the Catholic Church, they actually have, I guess, some type of science where they can expel this entity, this force, this energy, this demon, this demonic entity that's possessing someone through what they call an exorcist. And there's a movie called The Exorcist that talks about this. And so that's one theory. But there's also another theory. Okay? There's also another theory that's out of this book right here. There's this book which is called The Biggest Secret. Then there's another book called Tales from the Time Loop. And there's another book called And the Truth Shall Set You Free. Right? Which is kind of like a mockery. If you think about it, it kind of sounds like it's some type of mockery. Well, you be the judge. But all I say is that the information in here, there's so much information that I suspect the author is actually a extraterrestrial, which is a fallen angel, Nephilim, the extraterrestrials, fallen angels, whatever you want to call them. He's one of them. I think what happened was that they're rebellious to begin with. So he gave you all the information in here. He told you all the crap that they do. And these are the rulers of the world. These are all the leaders you see on TV. And this book was written back in 1999, and he names them all by name. And wouldn't you know, their names are starting to come up again right now. Okay? And he's back on YouTube, and you can see him. He just got back on YouTube a month ago. Okay? But I'm just saying, keep in mind that I think he is actually one himself. Not to say that he's a bad one. I think he's one that defected. Okay? Originally defected out of heaven and ascended onto earth. These are the fallen angels, but they are, what do you call that? Defecting. They're defecting. Some of these fallen angels are defecting back into ascending back to righteousness. This is the only thing I can make of it. Okay? You decide for yourself. But this theory says that actually what's creating this narrative, the media that's been controlling everything's got everybody thinking a certain way. This theory says that these spirits, these demonic spirits, are actually in something that's called the fourth dimension. Okay? And that these entities, just like they talked on Star Trek, this entity derives energy from frequency. Okay? If you take a frequency and you blast it through the air, it's very easy to do. This is called radio. Okay? And you blast the frequency through the air, you can have something over here. It's called, I think it's called the detector. That energy, just like when you listen to your radio, is transferred through the air, and it's received over here. It's received as power, and they take that power and they turn it back into an audio signal, or whatever the hell they want to turn it back into, right? Video or audio. But that is to say that you can transfer energy through the air. And so the theory is, just like it showed on Star Trek, is that these things are deriving energy off basically the same thing, because when you think, energy leaves you just like a radio transmitter, but it's a different kind of energy. It's not electromagnetic. It is what's called psionic energy, which they have not either caught up to or they do not want to reveal. There's people playing with different devices now, okay? There's one that's almost like the Ouija board. I was going to tell you about that, but I don't want to go off on a different subject right now. And so this theory is that these entities, which we're calling demonic, Lucifer, are deriving energy from this. This is the theory. It's not because the entity is pissed off, which sounds like more of a reasonable theory, right? It's not that the entity is pissed off and um, and is just doing all this because the entity's pissed off and wants to hates everybody. This theory is that there's this entity, and it derives it. I don't know if it has anything to do with good or evil, but this entity derives energy off of low frequency, and these low frequencies are shame, guilt, and fear. Okay? And so this person is talking about, how women are, you know, manipulative and stuff like this. And they're doing this stuff because the narrative is controlling them to do this. But he's saying that it's demon possession, right? It's anyone's guess what it is. And so that's why I think this is their bread and butter. What he's talking about today, he was talking about how women are manipulating men, and they're making men lose their mind. The men are, checking out or checking in to prison, right? And they're just losing it. And it's true. You look at the news and look at the divorce rate. Okay? I think this is their bread and butter. This is the one that really juices them up. And that's why this entity, whether it's Lucifer out of the Holy Scriptures or some entity that we don't know what the hell it is, but it derives energy off of this, whichever one it is what it is. It is feeding these people garbage through the media, effing everybody up. Okay, I have my own theory. I think it's reincarnation. But you can't really talk about it because they have silenced you from talking about it. You can't name the thing what it is, but I'll try and put it out there so that you can kind of understand it. Okay, I think that there are people who are by nature evil, rebellious, and they don't give a damn. They'll do witchcraft, they'll do anything to feel satisfaction. Also, because they succumb to this thing and allow this thing to enter them, they even become more evil by indulging in sexual things, and they become insatiable, right? They become sexually insatiable, and then they begin denial later in life. They get into denial because karma, right? They were duped. The people start to turn their backs on them and freaking give them hell and inflict shame, guilt, and fear. And that's what's going on right now. And so they end up, they're a mess because they were doing all this witchcraft and things like this, and so now they're getting their karma. So that's what I can make of it. Oh, okay. So I think what it is that some people who are just rebellious. They don't care about what's right, what's wrong, and um, they don't have empathy for whatever reason. Probably they were abused, and through that abuse, some entity, some demonic spirit entered them. Who knows? But these people, I think, it's not just in this lifetime. It was in other lifetimes. This is the theory of reincarnation. And I think that, when they are cruel and mean, sadistic to others, I think in the next lifetime they are punished. And I think some of these are male, some are female, but it seems to me that some of them are punished by being put in the opposite gender's body. Right? It's not that gender, it's the opposite gender that's inside of this thing. And it just makes it even worse, because now this thing that looks like it's a gender that it's not is actually manipulating its own gender, manipulating this because it wants that same gender for itself. So not only do you have couples who get separated, man and wife who get separated, but they're actually separated because whether in this case her, whether she is the gender that she looks or not, or if somehow her brain got jacked up, right? Through this process, her brain got jacked up. And so she's actually in denial because she has become sexually insatiable and ends up with this thing, this gender that's not the gender that it appears to be, has manipulated and caused all this crap to get that same gender as itself, because it's not the gender that it appears to be. Right? I think that's the ones who's doing it. It's these ones who've been doing this stuff for, lifetime after lifetime. And this is who they are. They're hiding. Right? And so now moving on to another subject. There's another auditor down in Southern California, and he just made a video just a few minutes ago, and he was saying, how you can survive on government cheese, basically, and being homeless. Because if you're not homeless, you have a place to put your food, okay? But if you are homeless, you don't have no place to put your food. So you have to eat. Like, what he's done is he's reduced his times that he eats. He only has something for breakfast, and this was good information. How you can make certain habits that are more healthy than other bad habits that you have, because that's what it is. It's a habit. And so he's saying that he's got this habit of having some coffee, which is caffeine, right? And a quesadilla. That's his habit, right? Instead of smoking weed or whatever. And So that's good information, which they don't want you to have. They don't want you to have this good information. And the one who's been controlling this narrative the whole time, whatever the hell it is, whether it's evil or just some type of parasite in the fourth dimension that draws energy off of this low frequency of people being jacked up in misery, fear, shame, guilt. and and so this is good information. This is real. Is the dude real? Is he some kind of government agent? Is he Hollywood? You know, I don't know. But the information so far is pretty damn good because he's showing you really what's going on out there. Now, once they catch on to anybody who's doing anything good, you know, there are a few, they will be attacked. And I told you, hello everyone in the comments. I'll try and read them here in a minute. I told you that I was going to show you on here, but it's too difficult. And if I start trying to do it, it'll lock up. And so it'll just be wasted time. But there's this place called starstat.yt. Okay. And I told you, I said, the camera is more powerful than the gun. The guns they were using back in the 60s, the civil rights movement that created all this stuff that we benefit from now, from these guys who put their lives on the line, right? These martyrs and heroes who fought for the people who were, you know, they said they were, you know, bad guys. Some of them are still in jail, right? And just like Aaron Russo said, in goes Betty Crocker, out goes Jack the Ripper. Everything's freaking perverted. And but anyhow, I was telling you that these First Amendment auditors, when they first took off, this was like probably about 3 or 4 years ago, it just caught on. It exploded. And immediately they infested, this is the secret agencies, right? They're not stupid. They've been doing this for a minute. It's called Counterintelligence Program, COINTELPRO. And this is a secret intelligence agencies that go after these people who are fighting for truth and justice, social and economic equality. Okay? The fight goes back a long time, especially around when the hippies, right? And you can see it on this documentary called The Weather Underground. Okay? So I was telling everybody, they're going to shut these people down, right? And that's exactly what they did. They shut them down with money. Okay? Because they basically told them, take this out of your video, even if it's just one word. They say you have to take this out or else we're not going to send you no money. We're going to demonetize you. So they got them with the money. Okay? And so they rendered them basically useless unless you like watching freaking Candy Camera, because that's basically what they are now. When they take out one word, it changes the whole thing. You don't know what the hell they're talking about. Right? These things were exposing society, how effed up society is. I told you it was a psychological and sociological gold mine. And that's why they had to destroy it, because it exposed all these bad behaviors in society. They don't want the people to know which one is really the bad one, the bad guy. They're sneaky. And And so I said, they're going to destroy these people, which they did. You look at one of them, okay? I just went in and checked right now. The last time he made a video live stream was 9 months ago, okay? So I would pretty much say they're done. Nevertheless, are they making money? They are. They're making a lot of money. They shut them down, but they're still making a lot of money. But the message was silenced. And it is silenced right now. This is how they do it. $1 million a year is freaking chump change to these people. It's nothing for these people. This is what they do to silence the message. So this person who's making these videos down in Los Angeles, he said, you ain't gonna make no money on these things. He says, I got a video on TikTok and it had 700,000 views. He says, you know how much money I made off of it? $65, right? Well, go into starstat.yt and type in Casey Camera Boy's channel, which is Kern County Transparency. He lives right in the next town from here, where I live, here in California. He used to live right here in Shafter, California, right by Bakersfield. It's just a little small town, right? Not as small as this little one-horse town, but it's just a little rinky-dink town. And he was making $750,000 a year. You think he was telling anybody how much money he was making? He alluded to it. He was telling the cops, I make more money than you make, right? Because they're saying, you're just a bum, right? Why don't you get a job? Apparently, they didn't know about starstat.yt, where you can go in and type in any channel you want, and it shows you how much money they make. Okay? And so there was this another person. This was Kern County Transparency. Now, why? How can you reproduce? How can you be like him so that you can make money like that? You have to be an extraordinary type of person. It takes a certain kind of person. Okay? And so if you look at his channel right now, he's still making like 6 figures. And but there's this other guy who used to hang around with him. They used to do a lot of videos together. There's this other guy down in the city of Angels. A lot of these people come from Los Angeles, Southern California, and he used to make videos with this guy all the time. But if you look at his channel, if you go to starstat.yt and type his channel in there, he's only making like $30,000 a year. Kern County is making 10 times more and not even making any videos anymore. This is just off the videos he made. He's still making 6 figures. Right? Why? Because there's a big difference between these two auditors. Okay? And so the one auditor, I'll go ahead and tell you his name. It's Silence Boy First Amendment, or something like that. You can find it just by typing in Silence Boy. And he was making videos down there with these people, and he made some awesome videos, but they made him destroy them. Like I said, the videos are basically useless now, unless you like Candy Camera. I told you, they were freaking psychological and sociological gold mines. You think these people don't know that? Okay, so on this person, they did the same thing. make you take out certain words, messed up the whole video. You can see it. You watch the video, you can see that they, parts are edited out. And but this person made a video, and he's basically only makes like $98 a day now, right? And but he made a video, and because he was exposing what is really going on in society. He was out there recording people, right? And because he was exposed, this goes against the rulers, because they've set up this facade, this bullshit of behavior, what is acceptable, what behavior is acceptable in society. And they were exposing it because the people were commenting on it. It's like they were psychoanalyzing, and it's like leading the sheep, and then they start to get it, right? And so they had to silence it. But so he made some good videos, and then they made him take the certain words out of them, and they ended up, not being so good. But this one thing happened to him, and I'll tell you, the back scenes of what was going on. Basically, what was going on is there's gossip in society, right? The people gossip. And he used his First Amendment audits to basically expose this, right? And the whole system, which is garbage, people build up this kind of like the mafia, right? They build up this mafia, and the uncle, Uncle Joe here, Uncle, and he's, this big, like a macho man, and he's good in bed and stuff. It's a freaking facade, right? Through manipulation. And they build up this whole freaking facade, and especially in places like northeastern United States. This is where they had all these gangs and stuff, right? They took control of the narrative. And that's why Tupac got the hell out of there, right? He took off. He liked it better over here on the West Coast. It started a big fight. But I can attest to it, because I used to drive all over the whole United States. I didn't know what was going on when I went there. I was like, what the hell? This might as well be a different world. And so he exposed this one thing, right? And so you had the mainstream media, who was already the secret intelligence agencies who work along with Hollywood, right? This is how they control everything. And the churches, all this stuff, the leaders of the churches, the leaders of the schools, they control the narrative, what is good, what is bad. And they've got the whole system on lock. And they're criminals. And so he already had the secret intelligence on him, right? Frightened to pounce on him. And so they used the community to attack him, which they do all the time. This is how they get down. They go, it's like the devil, Lucifer. This is how they attacked Fred Hampton. They use the community to go in and spread gossip in the community about the person, and just do all this shitty stuff. This is how they do it. You study COINTELPRO, study the secret intelligence agencies. This is how they do it. They use chicks, just like Natasha and Boris, right? This is their go-to when they want to attack someone. And so he went over and he did something, and he put it on film, and the whole freaking City of Angels freaking lit up over his video. And that video went viral. And I don't know what happened to the video now. I doubt if it's even around. It's probably completely eliminated. I know they've done this to a few videos that were excellent for analyzing the crap that's in society, sociologically and psychologically. They completely just made them get rid of them, of the video. No editing or anything like that. Well, this video went viral, and he made $30,000 off that video in one day. Or it was either one day or 1 month. Okay? Because it shows you how much they make in a day, how much they make per week, and how much they make per month, and how much they make per year. But that video that went viral made him $30,000. I'm pretty sure it was in one day when it went viral. And it was when there was this street vendor in Los Angeles, the ones who sell food out there on the streets, where you don't know where they get this food from, right? They're having a big issue with it over in Fresno. And I'll tell you, I've seen some stuff, right? But anyhow, basically what happened was he cussed out this older lady. She was an older lady, and she was talking smack to him, and he talked smack back at her and called the cops on her, and she got arrested. And the whole freaking town, the whole Los Angeles, City of Angels, freaking lit up. This whole community, right? Because he was yelling at her in Spanish. The whole thing went down in Spanish, mostly in Spanish, because she doesn't understand English. And so I just thought I'd tell you that. Okay, silence voice. So this information that this one auditor put out today, that you don't make no money, that's bullcrap. Go to starstat.yt. I guess YT stands for YouTube. Starstat.yt. You can put anybody's channel in there, and it'll show you how much they're getting paid. I don't get paid nothing. I'm not monetized, so you won't find me on there, okay? But if your channel is monetized, if you're doing this to make money, which I would say probably 80% or more are on here to make money, they will be on that website, starstat.yt, and you can see how much money these people are making. So this telling people makes me question, really, what is the agenda behind this channel? Because that's absolutely false. Okay? They're basically discouraging people, which is kind of bizarre, because they're going to make money off content, because they're selling advertisements. So that's like a double whammy. I don't know what kind of crap that is. Maybe it's just from his point of view, from his experience. But to say that these content creators are not making money is not true. Look at Kern County Transparency. He's not even making videos no more, and he's making six figures. Not even going out there and filming nothing. He's just making six figures off the videos that he already made. And Silence Boy, like I said, made $30,000 off one video that went viral. But now he's only making $98 because they basically shut all these people down. Why do you think Kern County is not even making videos no more? Right? You don't think they attack these people? If you're making $750,000 a year, why would you not keep making videos? What are you going to do? Take all the money and invest it in stocks, right? No, it's because they were giving him a bad time. I mean, I know that he's probably went on, he's trying to become a lawyer or this and that. So, I mean, that might have something to do with it. Um, but to me, it seems a little bit bizarre because once you're out there making videos, it becomes like an addiction, right? A, you get a adrenaline rush off of it. So it doesn't make sense that you would just go silent for 9 months like that. I would I would think it's because they went after him. And look at Silence Boy. He had thousands of views. You look at him now. 3 comments, 16 views. And these guys used to be nationwide, at least nationwide. They shut all these people down, right? They shut them down. But like I said, one is still making 6 figures, 300,000, over 300,000 a year, not doing anything, just off the videos that they already made. Last year, the year before, the year before. The other one is making 10 times less. Okay? That's just because one was better than the other. But they're both effectively have been silenced. Right? The one has been silenced because they made him take out all the important parts in it. But people still watch him because a lot of people like Candy Camera. Okay? Some of them are still good. But the ones that were really, really a gold mine, those are no more. But you can go check it out yourself. Kern County Transparency. Go see the stuff he was making. But know that all the important parts were taken out of it. They were edited out. Okay? But you can get a basic idea of what he was doing. And he was making $750,000 a year. And he lived right here in Shafter, California, just 50 miles from here. Silence Boy is in Southern California, City of Angels. You can check both these people out, and um, and you can go to starstat.yt and see how much money they're making. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later. Let's see what's going on in the comments before I shut this thing off. Let me turn you around here so that I can get ready to shut this thing down. Okay. So we got a few people in here who said hello. Hi, right back at you, all you people. Um, uh, Mini Riviera. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but yeah, I did. That's before I stopped watching TV, and yeah, I did see that movie. Okay, and do I uh um no, to your question down at the bottom, anonymous American, no, definitely not. uh I'm trying to get onto, like this one guy. I mean, he said he smoked weed because he didn't get his coffee and quesadilla, and he said that the weed helped him out, right? um but yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do too. uh you know start Try that. Coffee and a quesadilla sounds pretty damn good, but I don't know where he gets his quesadillas. LA. And he was saying that LA is the most expensive. No, it's not. You haven't been to the Central Valley. When our uh I know the prices are completely different now. It's a different scenario. Everything's different now. But back in the day, the filet of fish sandwich at McDonald's was about $3, like $2.85 or something like that. And when I went to the World Health Freedom Expo in Long Beach in 2007, um, I was staying at this motel in Compton, California. It was called the Crystal Inn or something like this. A big freaking motel. And so I was going through Compton, and and the filet of fish sandwiches there were 99 cents. So there's a lot of stuff in Los Angeles that's way cheaper than over here. Obviously, this guy has not been to the Central Valley, okay? Because there's a lot of things in LA, food and whatnot, a lot of different things that are inexpensive over there compared to over here. Okay, so that's two different pieces of information that he gave out that I think are kind of um, strange. Okay, so let's see some people start making some videos about how cheap you can get stuff. To survive, food to survive. Like if you're homeless, is it more expensive in LA or the Central Valley? Because he made it out like LA is really expensive, and I don't think so. Because I went there, and they have stuff that's cheap. It's basically on sale. That the price of a filet of fish sandwich was 1/3 of the price we pay for a filet of fish sandwich up here. Okay, and I'm telling you, this was in 2007. I drove through the McDonald's in Compton, California, and the filet of fish sandwiches were 99 cents. A filet of fish sandwich now is like what, $5 probably or more. I would imagine it's probably $5 or more. But at that time in 2007, that filet fish sandwich would cost you 3 times more over here in the Central Valley than in Los Angeles. So I don't know if the dude has never been out of LA or something, but that was bizarre because he was saying, it's really expensive in LA. Okay, so thanks, and we'll talk to y'all later.